What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Moo Trades. We're back with another bar by bar chart analysis. This is the S&P 500 ES E-mini futures. So let's get into it. And just a quick announcement, I'm live streaming every day at market open. So be sure to watch me trade live if you're interested. So at the beginning of the day, even though we were trading lower during the overnight session, it really just resembles a trading range. So we have this leg down that we must keep in the back of our heads because we had a break, but we have no test at a new low. And the rules with any sort of trend, no matter how short, is that once there's a break, we expect a test at a new low. But right now we're just getting some congestion following the break. So we still want to look for a two-legged pullback, second entry short. We get one right here because if we're counting from the new low, we went up. We had a first entry short, we went up again, and then we had a second entry short right there. But we would use this bullish bar as a signal bar, so we cannot take that trade. We want to look for great setups, and the signal bars must also be valid. So here it's an interesting spot. We have two tests at this high. We went back into the trading range. We went below the EMA, and now we have a lower high. I actually took this trade during the live stream. And looking back, the prices are a bit congested, but we're at the top of the trading range. It's a lower high. Nice bearish signal bar. And the scalp worked out. And then here we have another interesting spot. So we have a leg up, a break, we have a new high, and we have a second entry short right here, which is also a very bearish signal bar. Also a failed breakout of the top of this congestion. I took that trade as well, and it barely worked out for a scalp. That's why I like to go for a 5-tick scalp, because I think I barely scalped out. Maybe I had a tick or two to spare. But if you're going for anything more, you would have got trapped. So once again, we just had some more choppiness, and then we had a news announcement. So we just want to wait for the volatility to come down. No real trades, but now we do finally reach a new low for the day. And it looks like we're starting a new sort of trend. So we just want to draw that as well. And here's an interesting spot. We have a new low, we have a first entry short and a second entry short. We are thinking to go short because even though we are resembling a sort of trading range, if we really look back and think what's happening, we tested the lows, we tried to go higher to a potential midline of the day. So let's see where a midline would be. We basically reached the midline perfectly and we got rejected, and now we're pushing below the lows of the day. So we don't want to even think to go long, especially with a second entry short right here. Now the signal bar is not really that bearish because we traded down, finished near the middle of it. But if you wanted to take that trade, it would have worked out very nicely. But now we have to note we had a clear break and a new low of this most recent leg down. So until anything really presents itself, we don't want to force anything. Looking for a two-legged pullback. So basically we traded up, we got rejected, and now prices are just pretty volatile, and we have a second entry short once again. So we have a new low here, we have a leg up, first entry short, another leg up, second entry short. It's an okay signal bar, and we do have a leg up like this. It looks like we might look for a break and a new test at this extreme. You'd also be going short into what looks like a potential trading range as well. So if we look at what's been going on, we have a leg down, we have a break and a zone of congestion, attempt to go high, another leg down, break, attempt to go high, another leg down. So really it looks like we're just in a sort of zone of congestion. We can try to fit a downtrend. Let's see if we can fit any sort of wide term trend. So maybe something like this is valid, but it's really difficult to tell if this trade will work out because it could just be at the midline of a downtrend as well, but it would have worked out for a nice scalp, and then we ended up trading lower. So here we actually have a failed second entry long. So we have a new high, we have a first entry long, we went down again, we have a second entry long, and then if the next bar ticks below this one, it'll create a failure, trapping all the longs who are trying to pick a bottom in the market. So that's another great trade. The only thing I was hesitant about was that it was away from the EMA, so sometimes you can get trapped yourself if you try to be too aggressive going short at the low of the day, but it worked out very nicely before we bounced at the bottom side of the trend channel. So let's draw our short-term leg once again. We have a first entry short, and then we have a second entry short, but we're still not touching the EMA. We're not getting close to the EMA. And in real time, this was another great trade. So new low, first entry short, second entry short, and then we had a lower high confirming that. But once again, if you're an aggressive trader, you can take that. But we're away from the EMA, so I decided to stay out of it. And then we ended up having a sort of reversal and correction back to the top side of the trend. So if we zoom out once again, we expect to bounce right around there. That's what happened. And then we actually get a lower high right here. So once again, if you're more of an aggressive trader, you can note that we have this leg up, we had a break, new high. I was waiting for a failed second entry long, but we didn't get one. We got a lower high here. So an aggressive trader might take this as well. I was really hoping we'd get a lower high below the EMA or a failed second entry long like we have here. But we didn't get a nice setup. So we had to just stay patient. So here we have a new low, we have a leg up, a first entry short, another leg up, second entry short. We're expecting to go lower. I mean, we're just in a very strong downtrend. So we know that a lot of traders are going to be trying to go long following a nice bullish signal bar, when in reality, you shouldn't even be thinking to go long. You should be only thinking to sell. That worked out very nicely. So once again, we have a very similar setup right here to the one we just had. New low, first entry short, second entry short, same pattern, new low, first entry short, second entry short, engulfing bearish signal bar. I tried to enter this in the live stream, but it just rocketed down very fast. And here we have another similar setup. New low, first entry short, second entry short, but in this case, the signal bar is not as bearish. It's closing near the midline, and we also have to keep in mind that we have to respect these short-term legs up, not to mention the fact that we had this leg down, we had a break and a new low, and also we tested, not only tested the EMA, but we broke above the EMA pretty convincingly. Here, we stayed below the EMA. Here, we barely broke above the EMA before having a nice leg down. So I would have rather not taken this trade because it's such a large risk. Doesn't look very convincing, but it did work out for a nice trade before we ended up testing the upper side of the trend channel once again. So at this point of the day, it looks like we're just sort of chopping around. We can even draw sort of a trading range like this, but we have a leg up, break, new high, second entry short, and it didn't end up working out. So the reason that this didn't work out is because really you'd be sort of picking a top. I think I might have taken this trade in the live stream too. It looks pretty decent, but we have a new low, first entry short, second entry short. But when you have a larger sort of trading range like this, it's best to wait for a lower high confirmation. I definitely should have waited for a lower high. And we ended up pushing higher before we just had some more congestion. So let's draw that as well. keeps on the right side of the market. Broke out. Now we have a second entry long here. First entry long, second entry long, but the prices are pretty stacked. We tried to go lower before we ended up actually just having a higher low, reaching the top side of a what might be a potential trading range. We have another second entry long. So we have this leg up we have to respect. We have a first entry long, second entry long. And actually going back to this trade back here, we must also respect the fact that there might be a sort of wider term uptrend in play. I ignored that in real time, but we have a couple confirmations there. So we wanted to wait for a break, new high before going short. Once again, we're back in the trading range. Could have argued for this second entry long, first entry long, second entry long, but in reality, we're coming from the top of the range. We're expecting to go to the bottom. And nothing too promising for the remainder of the day. That's going to wrap up the video. Thanks for watching. Tune into the live streams. Have a good one. Peace out.